Hello, this is Laurel with the Dabbling. How are you guys doing? It is, what's today? Wednesday, June 24th. You're gonna hear for clearing and all that. Father Minion's over there. He's supposed to be quiet. What are we talking about? This is my last minute craft fair, or I guess it really wasn't a craft fair, vendor fair, celebration event that I took part in, Juneteenth event. This is the third year that they had this. Sorry, itchy. Oh, by the way, hey, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I hope you subscribe, but if you don't, I hope you enjoy this episode. So, the celebration, community vibes, as it was called. Third year they're having it. They have had vendors before. I didn't do a whole lot of investigating. I figured, why not? It's another event. The organization could have been a little better. There were no designated spots. It was near a pond. Great views, like I mentioned before, because we had gone to find the location the day before. Great views, but they had no designated spots for the vendors. It was just, wherever you can fit. And I guess the location or the spots the vendors were in had changed from the previous years. I spoke to a neighbor vendor, and she said that last year, I'm not sure if it was last year or the first year, it rained, so they took it inside. I forgot to ask her, was that during the event, or did they know ahead of time and had it inside? Because there was a school right across the street. Because if it was during, when it rained, that would have been impossible for me to pack everything up and get it inside. It takes me almost 2 hours to set up. So, weather was good, except it was so windy. So windy. I wasn't prepared for that. Tent-wise, I was good, but things were, falling over because the wind was really bad. And where we were located, it's not flat. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't flat. So tables were a little precarious, and my shelves weren't as sturdy as they could have been. It was from 1 to 6, and what else can I say? The music was great. People came out. It wasn't as what's the word I would use? Attended as I would have expected. It was a free event. They said there was free food, and a lot of people came up because I was one of the first ones there to set up. I think I was the first one there, or second one there to set up. And people were asking if there was going to be food, because it was advertised as food, free food. They had, I think, like an ice cream truck. Chick-fil-A was there, but I don't think they were serving food. I think they were serving, I think somebody said brownies or something. I don't know. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A's. They did end up having food. Looks like somebody cooked, and they had a table way up front. I didn't end up partaking because I was by myself, and I couldn't go because it was my first time there. I didn't know what it was like, so I couldn't even leave the tent. Not that I normally do at craft fairs unless they have somebody coming to relieve you for a while. What else? Yeah. All in all, sales were not great. I at first said I wouldn't do it again. I may give it one more shot since people weren't used to me. They weren't expecting me and my stuff. I did make a few sales. Did make my threshold, obviously, or maybe not obviously, but I didn't. Obviously, based on the way I'm saying things. But the people who did buy were very pleasant. But there weren't a lot of buying people. I think they were there for the event and for the free food, and how those things go. So out of what I did sell, I sold I had 19 transactions and I sold 27 items. 6 of those items were from my discount bin. Again, people love rummaging through the discount bin. I am adding things out of what I had previously, between last year and my first spring craft fair, what I had in the discount bin. I think I ended up with just 2 things left, so I've been adding things to it that I'd want to take out of my inventory to make space. I have, I think, 6 gummy bears that I put in there because I've been carrying them around for a while. Once in a blue moon, one will sell. But so I put in discount bin. I put in another mallet that was a little bigger than the previous one I had said I put in. And this woman said she loved it so much she wanted it on her desk just to look at. So I can't complain about the people who purchased stuff. They were very nice and appreciative and complimentary. But it was a long 5 hours because of the wind. It just made it extra stressful. So if sales were better, I mean, obviously you would have made it a little more palatable, but we'll see. If I change my mind and do it next year just to give it another shot to see what happens, I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind yet. And especially if weather is going to be an issue, because it's been raining here, I think the last couple of days, and it's due to rain on and off during the next week or so. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see, what else sold? Other than the 6 items from my discount bin, I sold a bear, and it's one that I'd shown before. It's from Amigurumi Today. It's a free pattern, and it has, it's a bear in overalls. So that sold. I sold 4 chickens. 2 of them were chicks and eggs, and one, so hopefully I think I took a picture, and if I do, I will pop it in here. But while I was there, I brought 1 skein of, or half skein of Posh yarn in the croissant colorway. And I decided to change make swings for my chicken, the scrap chickens I had made. I was trying to, I posted before that I made chickens out of my scrap worsted weight yarn. I doubled it. I added some with latte, but there were some that were a little smaller than others. So those, I think while I was there, was it 3 or 4 of them? I turned into, I think 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 of them, I think, I turned into swings, and one of them sold. The second one almost sold, but the kid changed his mind and he bought something else. So I plan on doing that for a couple more of the smaller chickens, scrap chickens that I made. Let's see, what else? I sold another Triceratops. I mentioned that they used to be a really hot seller for me, and they've been very lukewarm sales on those. I sold 6 ducks. 4 of them were the mini $5 ducks from, I used a pattern by Hooked Crochet Co. and I used Posh yarn to make those. I had a duck in a frog hat that I made last year, and it never sold, and it sold at this one. And the boy who bought it, I think he must have been about maybe 10, 12, and he was impressed that it had the frog head on it as well. I sold 1 elephant, so now I have 1 left in inventory. But I sold 1 elephant, and it's a tutorial by Loops and Knots Crochet. It's like a splooting elephant. When I did it, I put the legs a little too high up, but the guy who bought it, he must have been like 16, 17 years old. I think he came in either with, I think it was his mom, and he wanted that elephant, and they were looking around at other elephants that I had. I do have another elephant. I have 1 stuffed elephant left in inventory, but I also have a large snuggler one, and the mom pointed it out to him, like, oh, this one, and she was curious as to why it was flat, and it was explained to her it's easier for kids to hold on to, blah blah blah, and then she looks at her son and go so that was funny. So that sold. I sold one mini frog, and another koala, which I made when I did the last video. I said I was going to try to make one. I did make one more. It's the tutorial by Sammy here on YouTube. So I made one and it sold. So what sold out of the discount bin was I made a pig out of Posh yarn in gray with like an orangey peachy color snout, and I've had that for over a year, and all the other pigs I put up sell and this one didn't, so I put it in the discount bin, and it got picked up. Like I said, the mallet that the woman bought for her desk, and when the popping mushrooms came out, I did one of my octos and I made a popping top for it, and it never sold. It's been looked at, it's been popped, it's been touched so many times, but somebody actually got it this time. An owl. I had made a ton of owls. I think it's a pattern I bought by, is it Kite Maker? No. I forget who the name. If I remember, I'll put it on screen, but it's, I think it was a $1 pattern I bought off the Etsy. Is it Kite Maker? No, I don't think it's Kite Maker. Anyway, I'll find it. But I'd use that pattern to make a bunch of owls because I had this pipsqueak type yarn that I bought in a mill-end bag and had it for a while. Didn't know what to do with it, so I paired that pipsqueak yarn with a bunch of other yarns and made owls. So I still have, I sold quite a few of them, but I still have, I think maybe 4 left, and I put one in the discount bin just to see how it would go, and it sold. I had a plush dog that I made. It is from Toy Story AU on Etsy. I have quite a few of her patterns, and I made it out of, I think it was a Home Slim. No, it's Chenille Home, the thicker one. I had bought some on discount ages ago, and I made stuff out of it, and I made 2 dogs out of it. One sold and one hadn't, and I put that one in discount, and that sold. And then I had a sleepy doll. It has the long sleepy cap, and it just has arms, and the body is just rounded. There's no legs. I made that ages ago, I think going on 2 years, and it's just been there, and I put in discount bin, and it sold. All right, so back to the regular. The ice creams that I made in the Juneteenth colorway, one of them sold. That was the only thing that sold out of all the Juneteenth items. I tend not to do things that are themed like that, but since this was the first time specific to Juneteenth, I wanted to have some representation, and things got looked at, but not so much. And the ice cream is one of the ice creams. I'd shown 2, I ended up making 1 more, but the one that had the black ice cream cone part of it, that's the one that sold. I sold a Damn It doll, so I think I have 2 left, I think. Either 2 or 3 left in inventory. And right now, I have no plans on making them, but if I do, Rose like crochet, she, the last time she showed hers, her arms are, I think they're made kind of like the Leggy Froggy As You Go type arms instead of the tubular ones. So I'm gonna try that instead, if I make any more. I do have some scraps that I need to tie together to make one big ball, so I'll see how far it goes. I sold 1 faux fur scrunchie, 2 turtles, bigger turtles, ones that I sell for $22 a piece. I sold 2 of those, and I sold 1 whale that was $8. I make the mini whales. I don't have any in, I don't think I have any in inventory left that are the $5 ones I make out of Posh, but these are ones that I make out of blanket scraps. So I sold 1 of those. So all in all, not bad. The items that were bought were appreciated, but I just wish it was a little more profitable, but I can't win them all. And it wouldn't have been so, I don't even want to say discouraging, but it wouldn't have been so bad if the wind was bad. like when it's so windy like that, you're already exhausted after the craft fairs, but this just makes it so much worse. So much worse because you're constantly up, down, making sure things don't fall over. Yeah, it's a lot. So, having said that, I have been making a few things. The seals, I don't think I ended up making. I wanted to make an extra one before this show, and I'm glad I didn't, you know, rush to make anything else. So I didn't, and I think a couple of people noticed the seals that I had left. I think I have 1, 2, 4 of them left. But I ended up making, it's blown out because of the window, but I ended up making one more in the off-white colorway, and it's, oh, there we go, that's better. So this is blanket in vanilla. I always forget what the colorway is, but I used the brown flock nose this time and some brown yarn to do the whiskers. But I had 2 in this colorway when I first made them, and they were the first to go. I think one of the first ones to sell at the craft fair. Was it the spring craft fair? The first spring craft fair, I believe. So made one more. I planned. Okay, so it looks like 16 and a half minutes is the new cutoff time. Anyway, so I plan on making a couple more in this colorway or lighter type colorways. I have a little bit left out of the cake of this, and I'm probably going to go down a hook size or 2 to see if I could get a full one out of what's left. Probably not, but we'll see. It will be like a mommy and me size. So there's that. Oh, and I did mention that the seal pattern, it's a free pattern on Instagram. It kind of stops here, and it's very rounded. It's like an abrupt stop. I add a little more to elongate it a little because I prefer that. And then the tail fins, or flippers, I don't sew them on individually. It's 6 single crochets for 5 rounds. I go 4 rounds of each, and then for the 5th round, I join them together so that they are all ready together when I go to sew them on. So, that's the seal. Because the koalas do so well, and when I do have koalas, they do tend to garner a lot of attention, but it's a lot of work to make the big size ones. So there is another pattern that's a bigger one, and it's it's bigger. It's almost no sewed. I think you just have to do the ears. Oh no, and I think you have to make the muzzle and sew that on as well. But this one by Sammy, I like it so much that I made 2 more just to have. This is Stash Goals and Kim, Crafty Nomad. This one is kind of a tail sticking out. This one is kind of a half miss. It's not bad, basically. It's not as bad as the green one, and then this what is that colorway called? Aqua color, as well, which is just dry and stiff and just oof. But anyway, this one's not bad. It's not as plump as the light blue, grayish blue one that I used before, which I swear, like, it is home slim. And I think this one is too. It acts very much like home slim, just a little bit distressed. But this is dark gray, I believe, is the colorway. I have one more skein that I use to finish this other project, because this was the remaining of what I had from the first skein, and I broke into the other one. So 2 of those. The nose is a little bigger here because I used extended double crochets in this one, and then just double crochets for the nose. I just wanted to see how it would look. So it points out a little more. Oh, actually no, it's just bigger, but they do stick out a bit. So cute. Again, the ears is the only thing you have to sew on, make and sew on. The other thing I use the gray for, like I said, elephants have been popular. I have one left, and I think it's because of the color. It's not appealing to anybody. I think it's the, I just saw one. It's not dots, it's the, I forget what the range is, but it's like, it's a white background with like little short bursts of pink and I think another color in it, pink and tan colors in there, almost like dots, but not really dots. But so that colorway I don't think is appealing to people. They don't see the elephant right away because people have bypassed it. But I used some of the dark gray to make another elephant. This is a pattern by, okay, it is a pattern by Churka Toys, who I think is Ekaterina, what is her name? Nope, her name is, yeah, Katerina Churkova, Churka Toys. She's on Instagram. She has a sloth pattern that I've done, not a sloth, is it a sloth? Yes, sloth pattern that I've done before. But it's her pattern. I believe I have the link in the document. But anyway, I made it out of the stash goals, and it's gray, but you know that velvet, like when you touch it in different ways, the color changes. So you can see that, and then it kind of, that's what that is. So it gives it almost a distressed look, but it wasn't too bad. And the eyes are, I don't know if they're gonna show up, but I hand painted these. There's shimmer, not quite big sparkle. It shimmers a bit in the background, so it goes perfectly. It's a turquoisey color because I use the aqua color from the stash goals. Now this one is distressed, and this one is just not as bad as the black, which is absolutely horrible, but it's not great. It's no smoothness on the hooks at all. So, but it's not as distressed as the black or thin as the black. But I use that, so I think it's a nice contrast to the gray. And then the eyes pull it in. Now, the eyes require some shaping, but no matter how I tried, it just made it look really mean. So I forget who I was watching, and they were saying that the sinker eyes that they had, they wish that they made the pupils a little smaller. And I think if that was the case for this, I think this is a 25 millimeter, and if it was a bit smaller, it wouldn't look so severe, almost like glaring at you. But no matter how I did it, it didn't give it a good friendly look to it. So I'm just leaving. I think I did just the tiniest bit of pull in on the side, but yeah. Maybe if the pupils are facing up or down or whatever, but I matched the way it was in the picture, and it just, no. It's not the nicest. So hopefully somebody really just likes elephants and doesn't mind the look of it. I gave it the eyebrows and everything, and the eyelash and the eyebrows, and it just, softened it just a tad, but not as much. But I like it. I like the tail is worked in as you go. The limbs are worked in as you go, so the only thing you have to sew on the head to the body and the ears to the head. So definitely will be making this again. I think this is like my 4th or 5th time making this one, so I want it in a lighter color, maybe a pink elephant. The one that sold at, not this event, but the one before, was a purple color that got looked at a lot. So that's the gray. What else? Oh, so I was saying that, you know, it's been raining. My roof still, you know, week and a half before it's gonna get fixed, and we're due for rain. Right now, not heavy, but still. But it's depressing because water's getting in the house. But it reminded me of a pattern that, because I looked up and saw that the water dripping, it was dripping from where the sheetrock meets and, you know, the seams. That's where it's coming, dripping from. So it reminded me of the drops, and I'm like, oh, I have a pattern that's raindrops. So Allie of Little Drops of Wonderful, she has a free pattern. I forget how long ago, 5 years now. I'll have to look it up. But let's see if I can look it up. Her pattern is, yep, 5 years. Actually, June of 2021 is when she brought it up, and June of 2026 is when I'm making it. So her drops little, this is her little drop of wonderful, because her name is Little Drops, or her channel name is Little Drops of Wonderful. So Little Drop of Wonderful, and there it is. So this one is in the Stash Goals Aqua, and good Lord, again, not as bad as the black, but it's a struggle to work with. Just fluff. That's all the distress. Look. So the Stash Goals with a 5mm hook, and Posh in Frozen Grape. It's like a lavenderish, bluish color. So light purple with a little touch of blue, kind of. It's looking all lavender on here, but yeah. So that's Posh with a 4.5mm, and the Stash Goals with a 5. The leg is look at that. I gotta. There you go. There you go. There you go. There they are, buddies, holding hands. So, Little Drops. You can, I think I stuffed that one top more than the other, but you can angle it a little. But yeah, last time I made it was, when did I make it? Hold on, because I did make it. Da, 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 da. I made it in 2021, June, that same month. I can't remember if I pattern tested for her or if I just made it. I can't remember. I might have pattern tested for her. But, so yeah. Making something positive out of the water droplets in the house, but so cute. So, I want to make one in like a blue color, but we'll see. You do have to sew on the limbs. If you make them ahead of time and you can map out where you want it, you can do them as you're going, because she tells you what rows to mark so you know what rows they're going to go on. Not with spots. You can put them wherever you want, but I don't know if I don't remember if she tells you what, you know, what the distance is, but you can do it however you want. So you could technically crochet it in as you go, because you can make it ahead of time, but I might try that next time to make it truly no-sew. You start from the top, 3 single crochets. I do not do that, Ellie. I start with 4 because I hate starting with 4 anyway, but 3 is an absolute no. No. So, yep. And it increases after that pretty rapidly, but to start with the 3, no. So 4 it was. But yeah, Little Drop of Wonderful. So that is where I'm at, having H2O again. What else? I think that's it. Everything has been put away for the fall. I have nothing else planned until then. Yeah, that's it. I just gotta go put that little, push that back in so it doesn't stick out, tag these, and put it away. So, trying to stay on top of things so I'm not doing that last minute, but you know how it goes when we get closer to the fall time. So, on that note, I hope you guys have a good rest of the day. It is the end of the day. It's, yeah. The sky is blue, but not crisp blue. It's blue that something's coming kind of blue. And it's breezy, and the sun is not hitting like it normally does around this time. So, anyway, on that note, I will talk to you guys later.